Welcome back to I have strengthened. I have somehow gotten stronger when I improve my farm related skills. Anime review, episode number 6. This is sadly going to be the last video to discuss this one because there's no more episodes for this one. We're discussing episodes 11 and 12. Unlike 9 and 10, which were standalone, this is a two-parter. We start off with basically where we have uh, Farrell, Helen, and Ruri, where they're basically just helping Al on his farm, which is quite nice of them to do, especially since of the three of them, Ruri is a hero, Helen is a receptionist and part-time adventurer, and Farrell is the crown princess of the kingdom. Normally, princesses would not get involved with this, but apparently she likes Al so much she'll basically do it. So then he gets upset because there's mysterious weed growing in his garden, and he's somewhat obsessed about it. Then eventually they go to town where they sell the vegetables. I'm like, when did he open his own his own vegetable stand? Because previously he was selling them off, and now he's selling his own vegetables. I'm like, okay, interesting. And then this stuff that was really weird. The king himself stops by his booth, which is interesting. And he's undercover as a normal citizen. He does buy some radishes, and of course, Laura has to hide because it's her father. And there's talk of like, oh, your bride is waiting for you, and we have some more farmland for you. Yeah, given the fact that he really wants Al to marry his daughter. Yep. And then, of course, like he really says, and all of a sudden he just walking out with his pesticide. Reek just happened to come by, delivering something else to hide him, and then we see this little girl about to be sold into slavery. And you're like, what? Why is the little girl sold into slavery? Did she steal something? No. Well, not really. It turns out she's a demonkin. Yep. And apparently Reeks knew of her. Now, I think in the manga, she kind of knew who this was. In anime, she had no idea who the heck this was. Like, they're not the same. They're classified as the same species. Not exactly, no, because the horns are inside of her head. His is basically on his forehead. So basically, it turns out she's actually the daughter of the current Demon King, not the previous one, the current one. And something must have happened back at home, so they thought, okay, let's arrange a ship, take 3 days. Nah, just have Al carry her, run straight out there to cross the ocean, and she's exhausted. And then, by the way, her attendant, she says her attendant transported there because something's going to the palace, she needs to be evacuated. And eventually, he comes to the I think like the border of the Demon Kingdom, and then her attendant is there attacking him. You're like, what the heck is going on here? And then, like, almost all hope is lost. And all of a sudden, Al's mom shows up. Now, this is a slight change, remember, from the manga for this scene. Because in the manga, when the introductions are happening, Al's the one introducing her to Yuri. In the anime, she introduced herself. And Al is suspicious. He was suspicious of her from the start. This is not actually his mom. Who this is, I'll get to. So basically, they arrive at the castle where there are soldiers lying on the ground. We don't know exactly what's going on. And we get to the throne room, and the Demon King is unconscious. Yeah, he's unconscious. And then, of course, where it looks like, and then we have Al who looks like he's about to kill Yuri. And, of course, the attendant is come too. And it turns out, this is not Al's mom. This is Evira, the girl who died back in episode 9. In a flashback. She's here alive and well. And she's been aged up, very beautiful, and refers to him as Oni-chan. And Yuri refers to that too, and of course, they start fighting, and even slice up part of the palace too. And she at one point nearly tries to strangle the little girl. And then it's revealed, this also is from the manga too, for the version, I read the light novels, this is a version of the manga. Now, this I thought was really weird, they had this in the final episode. Okay, so it turns out the reason why Al is OP, why he's got all this power, is because it's the power of the evil god. Now, it was suspected that the cave they went into back episode 9 was responsible for this. And then, of course, basically, of course, she gets away after, well, getting her to stop and killing Demon King. She gets away, and of course, he's asked who this is. This was a sister, well, it's adopted sister anyways, and that she's not related by blood. And about the evil god, and of course, they'll look for it. They don't know much about it, aside from the fact that it's been kind of, I think, was explained early on in the series, the evil god and good god. By the way, the good god, this one reveals this to him. Now, I think a guy. No, it's a girl, and apparently, it placed the strength power with like nature powers. Where it's like bushes and tearing up her outfit, well, basically her sleeves and her stockings, but nothing else. And then Al proceeds to, well, like contact future, and he goes home. He's talked to Tessa for a bit. Does not reveal that the girl he knew when they were kids is alive. And goes through the cave and invites the capital. Says no, and then it's revealed apparently he very rarely leaves the village. Why the heck this is not explained here. And then we see Farah where she goes now apparently like she hears like a knock apparently, and then she's like, oh, let's have her get changed to her outfit she wears when she goes on public, and then her maid starts smiling when they close the door. Is the maid a shapeshifter? This is not really explained here. And of course, it meets up with the guild hall, and of course, the girls obviously all fight. Well, then we have Reeks basically is there to deliver a letter, and apparently Helen and Rory read it, and she refers to the girls as tramps. I'm like, Mrs. Wayne, you do know these girls are in love with your son. I'm like, what if they actually marry him and actually give you a bunch of grandchildren? Do you not want your son to have kids? And then Farrah comes, and of course they argue, and of course they're out drinking, and leaves open and pops their season, and you finish this up, and like, okay, so we have two possible questions, basically. Like, there are questions unanswered here that I'm sure that if they wanted to do a season 2, they probably would. I should point out, though, the light novel series only lasted 5 books. You're thinking, really? 5? I had heard something that's lasted like 24 chapters as anime covers. I also hearing like covered 60, but I read like 45, and this is like around chapter 30-ish. I think it was. Excuse me. Yes. Now there's still plenty of material to cover here. How far I go with light novel? Don't know. I couldn't find a damn thing. I don't think I tell anyways. Yeah, I did get a chance to look per se, but I don't know exactly how much this anime covered when it comes to light novel. And if you look at the Wiki site, there is no page for, well, there's no page for like no set page for like the light novels. For some reason, the manga, normally on these Wiki sites, they usually have listed like the chapters of the manga and the light novels. This doesn't have it at all for some reason. It's like basically someone started this thing and just didn't finish it. That seems like, anyways. I have really enjoyed this anime. Because right now, occasionally when I'm at my final thoughts on this anime, because the episodes are really good, and hoping for season 2 of this thing. I haven't heard anything about season 2 of this one. I haven't heard anything. I mean, I only heard about this one just recently, and I personally never heard of this anime before. I mainly picked this anime to watch after I was reincarnated as the 7th Prince. Because I try to go through this appraisal anime, which the problem with this one is, it's like, there's not much info on like, okay, because I had the light novels downloaded that I figured I would, read them and then watch the anime. The problem is basically info about this damn thing. It's like, I suspect basically we start book 1. As for where they stop with, that's a big question mark. Like, does stop book 3, book 4? I don't know. So I decided to postpone it to another time. So, and then I figured, wait a minute, why did I do another Lucia Christian series to feature her? And I came across this one. I'm like, okay. So this is interesting. So I read the chapters while I was finishing up the previous anime. I was reincarnated as 7th Prince, and I really enjoyed this. And I figured, I'll watch the anime, and now I have. This also is the first one in a while I've watched on High Dive. because this is the last one I watched on High Dive was the Demon Sword Master of Excalibur Academy. Yes, that was in fact the last official anime I watched on that streaming service. Yes, I still pay for it. And as of right now, the only anime probably coming out really soon that I probably will be watching when the next season comes out is probably going to be is the Return Goes Dungeon Season 5. It comes out in 4 months. Yeah, 4 months. Though, here's hoping basically the next season covers to be 22 chapters, given the fact that, well, I don't know if I'm going to cover book 15 for that one, but that's something else altogether. But, so, you're probably thinking, okay, are you ready to get back coming for it, ready to see it? Not really. It's only been about a week. So, I've already covered 2 anime already, so I'm going to cover roughly, probably about 2 more, given the fact I have a day off. I can probably get to cover this thing pretty quickly. So, the next anime involving sword women. Yes, I read the premise and I'm like, okay. Yeah, it's not one of these reincarnated ones, but I'll basically discuss it at that point. So, this is pretty much a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do hit the dislike button. I hope the guy will get season 2 of this series. So, next up is basically going to be Case Close, and that probably be it for the videos for season because I have no other videos planned. So, I'll see you so later. Bye.